Now, one of the things that I want to talk about is we've got shout out to Lions Wire. They did a article. I want to say this is this Jeff Reisman? He's pretty much, yes, it is. Lions injury updates after the bye. And he lists some people that are injured for the Detroit Lions and when they could come back and stuff like that. But my question is, who do you think will have the biggest impact of the potential returning players that he lists here? One of them, we're going to go in order here, Jerry Jacobs, John Kaminsky, who should be able to come back. Those two guys should be able to come back very soon. Romeo Okwara, I don't know when he's coming back. No idea. We probably won't see him this season. That's my guess. Jason Kabinda, I'm going to say he's the least. Jameson Williams, Levi O, he's out for the year. Josh Pascal, he could either return this week or next week. So out of those guys, it's only two on offense, right? Jason Kabinda and Jameson Williams. Obviously, Jameson's a huge impact. But offense is not our problem. Our problem is defense. So out of those guys, Josh Pascal, who else? Romeo O, John Kaminsky. I'm going to say probably, man, I'll say John Kaminsky, man. It seems like when he went out, now remember, he broke his hand or his wrist or something like that. I think it was the hand, something in the hand. He broke that in the Washington game, which was our last win, and it's when we dominated. We dominated the Vikings game, too, without him. And again, we all know how that went. But I think, honestly, man, Kaminsky, he's probably the biggest piece because we really don't know who we have in Josh Pascal. So will those guys be back hopefully sooner than later? Those are three key defensive players that we need. We don't have much of anything. White says, if Glenn ends the year with the worst defense in the league, should we fire him? I like him, but it's hard to defend him at this point. And White, that's what we're talking about. Defensive players. Nick says Kaminsky. Dave, no, I am not going to the Dallas game, man. Finances did not add up this year, so I am going to take a back seat. Saving up for potentially Vegas next year. So, yeah. Plus, Jameson's not coming back. That would have been something to see. So, yeah, finances did not add up this year, big dog. Last year I had a connection in California that helped facilitate, ease up on some of the costs. He was able to show me around and stuff like that. I didn't have to worry about renting a car. But in Dallas, it was a completely different thing. I had no connects down there, and I would have had to pay for it. So, real quick, getting off subject here. But the closest Southwest, the closest airport is 10 miles away from the stadium. Southwest doesn't fly into that airport. It flies into the one 20 miles away from the stadium. So I would have had to rent a car and do that. I was going to go with the Lions Experience and take their package, was I want to say about $1,400 or so, somewhere around there. But yeah, it's no big deal, man. It's no big deal, bro. Because by the time we hopefully have a good team next year, I think we play the AFC West. So if we play Vegas in Vegas, then the wife and I are going to head that way. So it's not a big deal, bro. I appreciate that, though. So John Kaminsky, me and Nick agree that he's probably the biggest cog in this whole thing. Because when he was in, Hutch got the help he needed. If you think about it, Hutch had his best game when Kaminsky was on the field, that second game. I think Hutch is going to have a good game coming up real soon. Real soon. I don't know who it's going to be against. If it's going to be against Dallas, the Dolphins, Green Bay, or, Chicago. But I think Hutch is there's a sack somewhere waiting on him. So the thing about it is, when will these guys get back? We saw Jerry Jacobs talking about he was ready to get back out there, and hopefully he will return sooner than later because we could use some help on the back end. Kaminsky was not put on injured reserve, but we don't know when he could come back. In Monday's press conference, Campbell said that it looks pretty promising as far as for him to return. I feel like Campbell is holding a lot of these guys close, and a lot of them we won't see until after Dallas, that home return game. I'm not sure. Romeo, I think he's going to be put on very similar to Levi. He's going to be put out real quick and be done for the season. Campbell indicated on Monday there was a chance Okwara could play in 2022. That's not looking pretty good. Because if you remember, with Levi, it was the same thing. It was the same type of thing. Now, my least excited is Jason Kabinda. He was solid for us last year, but, I mean, at this point, we need some help on defense. And obviously, everybody's anticipating the return of Jameson Williams, and it is looking like Thanksgiving, which is devastating because by the time he comes back, we may not have anything to play for.